Why does it cost so much to repair my truck? So basically, I would say that it's a fair question, um, and maybe the fairest question in the entire industry. You work hard for your money. Your truck isn't a toy. It's how you get to your job, how you haul what needs hauling, how you tow the trailer, how you get your family where you need to go. When something breaks and a number on the estimate makes your stomach drop, you deserve a straight answer. So let's give you one. I don't want to give you a sales pitch or scare tactics or, just want to tell you the truth, what truck repair actually costs and why it costs that. And most importantly, why doing it right the first time is always the cheapest path in the long run. So the truck tax is real. Why trucks cost more than cars to repair. Let's start with something most shops won't say out loud. Repairing a truck genuinely does cost more than repairing a compact sedan. This isn't a shop taking advantage of you. It's physics, engineering, and parts pricing all working against your wallet at the same time. Trucks are bigger, heavier, and built to work harder. That means the parts themselves are larger and more expensive. A brake rotor for half-ton pickup is a different animal than one for a small commuter car. More metal, more engineering, more cost. A truck battery has to crank a much bigger engine, so it's a heavier duty unit with a heavier duty price tag too. This scales across nearly every component on the vehicle. Truck systems are more complex. Four-wheel drive systems, transfer cases, heavier suspension components, larger braking systems, tow packages, and beefier drivetrains all add up to the layers of complexity. More complexity means more labor hours and more specialized knowledge to diagnose and repair correctly. Labor time goes up with size. It generally takes longer to get a component out of a full-size truck than a small car. There's more vehicle to work around, heavier parts to maneuver, and often more disassembly required just to reach the failed part. Trucks live harder lives. Towing, hauling, and the constant stop and go of daily driving all put more stress on every system. A truck that's earning its keep is going to need more attention than a car that just runs errands. None of this is the reason to feel taken advantage of. It's the reason to understand what you're actually paying for and to make sure that you're paying for work done right. So, quick tip, before authorizing a repair, ask your shop to walk you through why the part failed, not just what failed. Understanding the root cause tells you whether you're fixing a symptom or solving the actual problem. A shop that has your best interest at heart will happily explain it. And then there's the question behind the question. When someone asks, why does it cost so much? They're usually asking something deeper. They're usually asking, can I trust this? Am I being told the truth? Is this money going to actually solve my problem, or am I just about to pour cash into a black hole? And that's the real conversation. And here's where it gets important, because the answer is the answer to why does it cost so much is directly tied to the decision you're about to make, whether you realize it or not. You have options when your truck breaks. You can take it to the professional repair shop that does the job right. You can hand it to a cut rate operation that quotes you the lowest number. You can try to do it yourself in the driveway, or you can ignore it and hope it goes away. And I really don't recommend the last one. I don't recommend any of them except the first one. Each of these paths has a price, and the path that looks cheapest at the moment of decision is very often the most expensive path you could possibly take. Let's walk through why. The cost of doing it wrong. Here's the truth, almost nobody explains clearly. The cost of a repair isn't just the number on the estimate. The real cost includes what happens after the repair, whether you'll have to ever pay to fix the same thing twice. And not saying that, a good, reputable shop, somebody that's truly got your best interest at heart won't have to do it twice, because the quality of product out there is not as good as it used to be, to say the very, very least. So, the part actually might fail quickly. The one thing that we do know in the automotive industry is that if you are going to have a bad part, it's probably going to go bad very quickly. If it doesn't go bad very quickly, then the odds are in your favor. So that's a big thing. But that's why we have really long warranties, just in case it does fail after a longer time. But the bulk of the failures are going to happen very quickly if it's going to fail. So imagine your truck has a check engine light and rough idle. One shop quotes you a proper diagnostic and a repair that addresses the actual cause. Another shop skips the diagnosis, throws a common part at it, and charges you less. You go with the cheaper option. It feels smart for 2 weeks. Everything seems fine. Then the light comes back on. The rough idle returns. Now you're back to square one, except you've already spent money on a part that wasn't the problem. You still have to pay for the correct diagnosis and the correct repair. You pay twice, plus you've lost the use of your truck a second time. And I can guarantee you it was very inconvenient at that point. It always is. It's going to happen at the most inconvenient moments anyway. Now it's happened twice at the most inconvenient moments. That cheaper repair just became the most expensive one that you could have chosen. And then you got the domino effect of unaddressed problems. Vehicles are symptoms of interlocking parts. When one component fails, it isn't repaired correctly, it puts stress on the components around it. A worn part that is left too long, or repair done with the wrong part or wrong procedure, can cascade into damage that was completely preventable. A small leak becomes a major failure. A minor alignment issue destroys a set of expensive truck tires, prematurely. A failing part that could have been a modest repair becomes a catastrophic one because it took the neighboring components down with it. And this is the hidden math of automotive repair. The cost of doing it right is fixed and known. The cost of doing it wrong compounds. So another quick tip: keep every repair record for your truck in one folder. Glove box, phone app, whatever works for you. When the shop can see the full history, they can spot patterns and catch small problems before they come up to become the expensive kind. Your history is one of the most valuable diagnostic tools there is. And a good shop is definitely going to really understand that. But you definitely need a correct diagnosis. You need quality parts. You need proper procedure. You need skilled labor. And then, I was born and raised a redneck. So the DIY trap, the do-it-yourself trap, is it going to actually save me money to repair my own stuff? Or am I just going to start bollocking around in there? I've been in the automotive industry pretty much my entire life, but not as a mechanic. So what mechanics do is true rocket science. You got to know that. I mean, you got to know that big time. Here's another quick tip. A good rule of thumb: if a repair involves your truck's braking, steering, fuel, or drivetrain systems, that's professional territory. These are the systems where a small mistake has large consequences, and they're not worth gambling your safety on. It's just not. You need to, choose your shop with okay. You need to find somebody that you can trust. You need to really understand what it takes to keep your truck on the road. It requires way more than what you think. I guarantee it. Stay safe, stay strong.